friends, I Kruti Jai Pancholi, Assistant Professor in LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. This video is about the subject Analog and Digital Communication System for the semester 5. We are going to learn about the introduction to communication system. In this video, we are going to discuss about analog and digital messages, sampling, quantization and pulse code modulation. In the earlier lecture, we have studied about what is the communication, block diagram of the communication, modulation, need for the modulation, type of signal, that are the analog signal, digital signal, and lastly we have discussed about to convert the analog signal into the digital. Analog signal is a continuous time varying signal. Digital signal, it's a discretized signal. So here, when we want to convert the analog signal into the digital, the analog to digital converter that is required, so that the digital signal that is represented with a binary code and which is the combination of 0 and 1. To convert the analog signal into the digital, two steps we have to perform, that are the sampling and quantization. What is a sampling? A continuous signal in the analog signal is first sampled into the discrete time signal, whose continuous amplitude is then quantized into the discretized digital level signal. So here this is the diagram. In that we can see that applying the analog input or the continuous signal or the modulating signal to the analog to digital converter, it provides us the value is in the digital form. What is a sampling? Sampling is the first step for converting analog signal into digital. Here in this diagram we can see that this blue line, that is nothing but the continuous analog signal. To convert them into the digital, first this continuous signal that are discretized, mean it is divided into the number of samples. This duration, that is the T, it is referred to as a sampling. To find out the sampling frequency, we can use the equation f is equal to 1 upon t. So these are the various values of the samples. So ST is the analog signal, SI is the ith sample. So the sampling is the process of measuring the instantaneous values of continuous time signal in a discrete form. In a one-line answer we can say the discretization of an analog signal is called the sampling. By performing the sampling, the one thing that we have to keep in mind, that is about the Nyquist theorem. The sampling rate must be at least twice time the highest frequency contained in the signal. So suppose the Fs is the sampling frequency, then it should be greater than equal to twice Fm. Fm is the modulating frequency. So Fs is a sampling frequency and Fm is the modulating frequency. By performing the sampling, we do not have the value of the sample. Only it produces the discretized output. So to find out the value of the sample, we should go for the next process, it is known as the quantization. So sampling is dividing the signal into the number of samples. Quantization, that is to find out the value of the sample. So in this diagram we can see that we have the one continuous signal. Here the dotted part that you can see over here, it is the continuous analog signal. I have divided them into the samples. So this is my sampled output. Now here, to find out this particular value of the sample, we should go for the quantization. So here we are assuming that my continuous analog signal that lies between the -MP to MP amplitude levels. So to find out the value for the sample, we have to divide this analog signal into the number of levels. So here you can see that this is the first level, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this level, that is nothing but having the amplitude delta V, it is equal to twice MP divided by L. This L is the number of levels. This number of levels, that is equal to 2 raised to n, and n is equal to number of bits. I mean, if we want to write the, if we have the more number of levels, we can assume the n value that is higher. So if n is equal to suppose 3, then L is equal to 2 raised to 3, it is 8. So the value for this particular level is suppose 0, then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, that way 1, 1, 1. Similarly, if we are dividing them into the 15 level, each particular level is represented by 4-bit number. So this way the value for the sample can be found out using the quantization process. So the quantization of an analog signal is done by discretizing the signal with a number of quantization levels. Quantization is representing the sampled values of the amplitude by a finite set of levels, which means converting a continuous amplitude sample into a discrete time signal. Now once the analog to digital conversion is over, then we need to find out the original analog message value by a sequence of samples, and for that the digital data. So to find out the digital values, we need to go for the method. It is the pulse code modulation. Pulse code modulation. Here we have the analog signal, and here you can see the output of the pulse code modulation is the digital data. So here analog signal, here the PCM encoder, and this is the output. So basically over here the analog to digital conversion process that has been done. So analog to digital conversion process consists of sampling, quantizing and encoding. The sampling means discretizing these analog signal into the samples. So this is the sampled output of this analog signal. Here the pulse that has been taken as a carrier wave. So the pulse amplitude is varying according to the amplitude of the modulating signal. So here as you can see that this is the amplitude depending upon this analog signal. So sampled output we have at the end of the sampling. Now sampled output waveform is there. So we have to find out the value for each sample. So we are passing them through the quantizing. Quantizer, that is dividing the signal into the number of levels. So by finding out, by performing the quantizing, we have the various voltage value of the samples. To find out the binary values for each sample, it should pass it from the encoding, and this encoder which provides us the digital data. So this is the pulse code modulation. So sampler, that is what it will do. It will, the analog signal is applied to the sampler. The sampler is a switch which samples the input signal at a regular interval of time and produces the discrete version of input signal. Similarly, the quantizing is the process of approximation or rounding of the sample value. It approximates each sample into its nearest standard voltage level, that is called the quantization level. Number of quantization levels is finite and generally it is the power of 2, that is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Encoder, it converts each quantized sample into a distinct code word. Thus, at the output of the encoder, we get digital code word. So here again the final diagram you can see. Here this is the analog signal. First process is sampling. So dividing the continuous signal into the discrete form, we have the number of samples. Then again dividing them into the number of levels. So these levels, according to here you can see that 0 to 15 levels are there. So each level is denoted by the 4 bit of data. So this is the level 0. So the code for it is 0000, 0001, 0010, 0011, 0100, 0100, 0101, 0110, 0111, same way 1111. So this way we can have the digital output for the analog signal. So here it is again the example that L is equal to 16. So L is equal to 2 raised to n, so that it is the 2 raised to 4, and n is equal to 4 bit. So we can represent the each level by using the 4 bit. So pulse code waveforms you can see, similarly the binary equivalent for the samples you can see. So this way we can find out, we can convert analog signal into digital form. So analog signals that can be converted into the digital. Why? Because the few advantages over the analog that we have studied in the earlier lecture, that the noise immunity that is better in case of the digital signals, and repeaters that can be also used by the digital signals that is used. Another advantages are the effect of the distortion, noise, interference is much less in the digital signals as they are less affected. Digital circuits are more reliable. Digital circuits are easy to design and cheaper than the analog circuits. The hardware implementation in the digital circuit is more flexible than analog. The occurrence of the crosstalk is very rare in the digital communication. The signal is unaltered as the pulse needs a high disturbance to alter its properties, which is very difficult. Signal processing functions such as encryption and the compression are employed in digital circuits to maintain the secrecy of the information, and the probability of the error occurrence is reduced by employing error detecting and error correcting codes. So these are the various advantages um, for the converting the data into the digital form. So now up to now we have studied about that why we have to convert the analog signal into the digital form. In the next point, that is the channel effect. So the primary resource in the communication system, that are the transmitted power and the channel bandwidth. So what is the transmitted power? So the average transmit power of the transmitted signal is defined as the transmitted power. So we know that transmitted power, by controlling that, okay, by increasing the transmitted power, we can reduce the noise also. Again, what is the channel bandwidth? So it is defined as the band of the frequencies allotted for the transmission of the message signal. So as we have again studied about the bandwidth, that is the range of the frequencies over which the information to be transmitted. So the maximum data rate at which the data can be transmitted over the channel reliably, that can gives us the channel capacity, and according to the channel capacity we should transmit the data. So it is also known as the rate of the information transmission. So whenever we are designing any communication system, then we have to look at all these parameters that are the channel effect, channel capacity. And the next parameter is signal to noise ratio. So whenever the transmitted power is more, the effect of the noise that can be again reduced, and to measure the effect of the noise, the parameter is used, it is the signal to noise ratio. So signal to noise ratio is defined as average input signal power to average input noise power. So it is about the today's video. So thank you very much.